another player, then this has been news that has been going on for I wouldn't say a long time, but this is news that has really picked up traction recently. And that is the Philadelphia 76ers James Harden thing. Let's talk about it real quick, because a week ago I was saying no way James Harden leaves the Nets, right? But then there's insiders that have been saying he's fed up with Kyrie not being vaxxed. There's other insiders that are saying that, because is it Daryl Morey? Is that the general manager of
Daryl Morey?
He was the general manager of the Rockets, and he has a close connection with James Harden. There's that in common as well. Plus, there was the rumor going around, I think it was today, James Harden is going to be testing free agency. Doesn't mean he's leaving, but he's going to be testing the market. Philadelphia or Brooklyn, if you were Harden, what would you do?
Oh, if I was Harden, I would probably stay with Brooklyn. Because I don't know if Embiid in Philly, because as good as Embiid is, I don't know if that's enough. I feel like that Brooklyn team, when they're at full strength, obviously is better than that Philly team would be.
Yeah.
But that being
team's
said,
a weird one, dude. So weird to watch. Because the other day they had 2 rookies starting, and I'm just thinking, this team has so many of these veterans they picked up, like LaMarcus Aldridge, Paul Millsap, James Johnson, etc. And they're choosing to play rookies over them, which is not a bad thing. But it makes me wonder, why do they try so hard to get a player like Paul Millsap, who they're looking to trade right now? I don't know. I feel like they should just go in a different direction. Even the Lakers are like that. The Lakers are choosing to play younger players now, like Stanley Johnson, Austin Reeves, over the old farts like Kent Bazemore and that, just to give a little bit of, a little bit of
energy.
Youth injection, a bit of energy to the team. And is it working? Is it working for the Lakers?
Well, obviously not. The Lakers have been
they're pretty
terrible.
And that begs the question: how is it working for the Nets? Is the youth injection, because they had 2 rookies start the other day? Oh, COVID.
Got COVID. No, the Nets are a little bit different. I feel like I haven't seen, for a team that has championship aspirations before the season, obviously not now because everyone's giving up on them, but I haven't seen a team give as little effort on defense as the Lakers do. It's actually painful watching them play.
There was a play today. I don't know if you saw it. Lakers were down about 2. They've had about 10 possessions where they've scored, but then they've been scored on. And Ish Smith, the man that was hot at that minute, not sexually hot, but really good at basketball type hot, got the ball, dribbled in Carmelo's face, and Carmelo steps back and gives him 3 meters to operate. What is he doing? Guard up. Who cares if he gets past you? They've been getting past you the whole time. Guard up. The whole Lakers team is...
Melo's been a horrible defender for years.
Yeah, and then they had a point guard shortage today against the Hornets. They had Austin Reeves playing point guard, but they had Rondo on the team not so long ago who they decided to trade. For some reason, they decided that he was the first one to go. Now he's playing 20 minutes on the Cavs, averaging 6 assists in the time that he's getting. The Lakers are just... Dude, there's something about them, I don't know. But again, back to the Harden thing. What are the chances that he does go to Philadelphia? Because I also pointed this out to someone today. Jimmy Butler, right? No one thought he was going to be leaving Philly because they had a big super team going on. A lot of people thought, well, he's going to be re-signing. And then Miami basically said, we'll give you the world and prostitutes in Miami. And he was like, yeah, get me in. I was saying to someone today, what's stopping a team from saying that to Harden? We'll give you everything you want. You can come back to being the number 1 guy. We'll lay out a direction, a roadmap of what our future's looking like, similar to what a Miami Heat did a couple of years ago. What is stopping this from happening? And I'm just thinking, Philadelphia, dude, they have a direction. They have a roadmap. They know what they want. They've got some of the best role players in the league. All they need is that second star with Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Because Joel Embiid's a center, James Harden can be the number one dude. He'd have the ball in his hands 24/7. So what's stopping that from happening? You know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah,
what are the chances?
Well, that's the reason that I could see Harden doing it is for if he wants a fresh start, if he's sick of Brooklyn, all of that sort of shit. I feel like it would be appealing because superstar players, they all act like they don't care about their legacies and whatever, but we all know that they do, some more than others. But I feel like if you were Harden and you had a chance to go, okay, here's Philadelphia, here's a team that has another superstar, that we could still be a contender if I come along. But instead of in Brooklyn, where it's KD number one, him number two, and Kyrie number three, he can sort of be 1A and 1B with Joel Embiid. And so that's a lot more for him if he does end up winning a championship than Brooklyn, where people say, oh, well, it's a super team, he didn't earn it, that sort of stuff. He wasn't the number one option. So it's all of that. It's more touches. It earns him, more respect if he does end up winning something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's just sick of Brooklyn.
And people... I don't know if this is a big call. You can call me out if this is a big call. But the Philadelphia 76ers with James Harden are a better team than the Brooklyn Nets right now with James Harden. Is that a big call? Because the way I see it, people will say that KD is better than Joel Embiid or whatever. I don't care. Mate, comparing Philadelphia's Tobias Harris and their elite bench of when Danny Green, he'd go to the bench today at Harden. So many of these players, Georges Niang is a really good player now. Matisse Thybulle, Shake Milton. Yeah. Compare that to Brooklyn's James Johnson and what they have. I think the 76ers are much ahead of what the Nets are, especially if they, got these pieces. But then the Nets would be adding Ben Simmons out of this deal, though. Think about that.
Yeah.
How elite would he be on the Nets?
Look, I don't know. That's a big call depending on what you're saying because Brooklyn last year in that first round, in the second round, those first two games against Milwaukee, it looked like they were absolutely unstoppable. Like if Kyrie and Harden don't get injured in that Nets series, they are running through the playoffs with absolute ease. And I think everybody would have agreed with that. They were clearly the best team in those playoffs, but this year they obviously have had zero consistency, and it's gotten to a point where even if all the big three are available, I don't feel like they will get past a Milwaukee or a Philly, maybe not Philly, but a Miami. No.
Okay. I thought I'd suggest it. We're gonna get a game on them. If that was to happen, we're getting a game
next year. I reckon you guys are in a similar boat to Memphis over in the West, where you're a quality team, young,
very elite young team.
You're going to take a contender to 6 or 7 in the second round and give them a scare, and everybody's going to be like, okay, this team's for real. And then next year they make the jump.
I hope so. I mean, that's the idea. And hey, if we can make the conference finals, even that would be if we can do that, definitely our best. Look, let's just say we face a Boston Celtics in round 1, right? I'm giving us the win. And if we face a Bucks team, we're not getting the win, right? But if we face a Brooklyn team that has consistent issues with injury and they throw out Kevin Durant and then a chubby James Harden who has hamstring issues, I'm giving us the benefit of the doubt. I think we could legitimately do something. But again, I'm just joking about Harden. A chubby James Harden with hamstring issues is still top 5 in the league nearly at this point.
James
So
Harden.
Yeah, he's still goated, but I don't know. I have a feeling we could knock one of those teams off. Philadelphia as well. I reckon we could give Philadelphia a run for their money.
Could potentially take Philadelphia.
I don't know. I think we beat them twice this year.
Just because of that lack of a second option that they have, and the fact that you guys have such good rim protectors
Defense.
and all of that.
Interior
You guys are
defense.
probably the best equipped team to deal with Embiid
Mm.
in the
Oh,
playoffs and
100%.
deal with Giannis in
That's
the
what I'm
playoffs.
saying. Like, we're a scary outfit. And if you had to call it, what's the furthest the Cavs could make the playoffs this season, do you reckon? Is the finals the ceiling, or is the conference finals the ceiling?
This season, I think with a lot of luck, they can make the conference finals. Again, the only reason that I have a lot of respect for the Nets and still think that these other teams should fear them is obviously because they've got the star power and because they've got Kevin fucking Durant, who we saw what he did last year. He's an absolute monster. We all know that. Probably the best player in basketball, close to it. I still think it's LeBron, but that's just biased. So,
is that biased, William? You're not even a Lakers fan. You're a Thunder fan. You should be thinking Josh Giddey's the best player.
It is from my end because I've acknowledged I'm a bit of a LeBron fanboy and I'm not a fan of KD, obviously. So,
I couldn't tell that by your jumper.